And now on the Business RadioX network, another exciting episode with Jamie Overturf in Connecting Tucson with Jamie.
Hello, and welcome to Connecting Tucson with Jamie Overturf, broadcasting from Tucson Business RadioX, situated in the Stewart Title corporate offices off of Broadway. Connecting Tucson is all about connecting our community, local businesses, and organizations to help our community grow and thrive. Today we have a very special guest in the studio, Debra Melkun, owner of Why Not Now, right here in Tucson. Debra grew up on Long Island and has lived in upstate New York, Georgia, New Hampshire, and Utah before making her way out to Sunnyside, Arizona, where she has been living for the past 13 years. So we will consider her a Tucsonian right now. During that time, she was a stay-at-home mom and started a group that knits and crochets comfort items for free to those in need of comfort for any reason. Debra has a background in special education, elementary education, and has done some short-term subbing in the past for schools. 4 years ago, she found a way to combine her passion for helping others as well as themselves through being an optimal health coach and has not looked back. I'm excited to be sharing her unique story and insights as well as expertise in this unique industry that has been, I think, growing as of late. So welcome and thank you for coming on our show, Debra.
Thank you, Jamie.
Great. So I always start off the show just having you tell us a little bit about yourself and what drove you to open up your own business. So how about we start with that? Let's give you a little bit of time to talk and go right for it.
Okay, well, thank you. As you mentioned, I have moved around quite a bit, and growing up with my family nearby on Long Island, I wanted to give my children that sense of family. So each time we moved, I would look for ways to volunteer, to be in their school, to kind of help others and kind of build our own little community, even though they weren't family. Family is just who you bring into your life. Mm-hmm. And it was actually in Utah where I discovered that I had this pull that for some reason I wanted to learn to crochet, which really seemed like an old lady sport to me. Uh-huh. And at the time I was 40, in my 40s. So it seems weird. But then when I got to Arizona, the last move, so we're still here, mm-hmm. A different chapter started to come for me. And after about 25 years, I found myself no longer in that same marital situation. Okay. And I went, wow, it was unexpected. And after being home and taking care of the family and the boys, I was looking like, what am I going to do now? Mm-hmm. What's next? And then I was back in the schools and volunteering and kind of helping and seeing, because I really enjoyed that. That's just a part of who I am. But I kind of didn't see an upline in growth for myself. So I started to look at what could I do? And I mentioned, I would thinking something like Annie's Kitchen or cooking for people. Mm-hmm. How else could I serve people? Right. And I was not really coming up with anything. I didn't have any upfront money mm-hmm. to start a brick and mortar business. And I talked myself out of a lot of ideas. And one day I have a girlfriend and she said, you know what, Debra, I found something and I'd love to practice on you. Can I come and practice? And I had no idea what she was going to bring. Right. And I sat down and I listened, and it was Optivia. It was a health program. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't thinking at the time about a business. I was thinking, oh my goodness, you have brought something to me that I didn't even really know I was looking for. Becoming, an older woman. Jamie, I think I'm older than you. But that whole premenopausal, you're just bound to gain weight and this is just what's going to happen, and taking some afternoon, drinks of coffee or something to perk me back up. Mm-hmm. Hearing that there was another way just really piqued my interest. Okay. And then I started.
So basically you did the program yourself and you found that, okay, she helped you and this was a way that you could potentially help others.
Oh, yes. Yes. So I did the program. I had great results, meaning I had more energy. I felt better. I didn't have to have any more naps. And then it just kind of started with talking with my brother and my dad, who's a diabetic, and just helping family and a few friends. And then I went, you know what? I'm going to join. And this is what I've been looking for.
Okay. So you basically, you went from going from a stay-at-home mom and helping your family and maybe some close friends that you brought in to reaching out and helping others because that's kind of your passion. That's a very big step. I mean, that's got to be a little bit, I guess, nerve-wracking going from what am I going to do to, hey, I'm doing something now. So how did you specifically land on that? Is that just because you found that there was a position there that you could bring into the fold and make work through your lifeline? How did you decide that you wanted to become that coach?
Great question. I mean, I had been looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
And then hearing that, minimal startup, it was something I could do.
Mm-hmm.
And I could reach more people. Because if I help one client, you're really helping their family, their friends, their employer. And it's a big ripple effect. So it really did combine my joy of helping. And when I give out the comfort items,
mm-hmm.
a lot of times I don't see those people and you just do it and they go away.
Right.
And I've been grateful to be doing that. But when I have clients and I can talk to them and hear where they want to go and help them, it's just another really good feel.
It's just different from just helping someone to give that comfort item versus to actually helping someone for multiple times and getting to know that story. It's like that. I guess that warm comfort that comforts you because you're helping somebody. So that's your comfort, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Optivia. What is this program and what are the components of Optivia and optimal health?
Okay, so Optivia has been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson is the co-founder. And there's 4 parts.
Okay.
The health coach, which is me. There's a free health coach. There's the Habits of Health system, which shows you how to do this for longevity and to retrain your mind. The community of support and something we call fuelings, just how to fuel your body and how to feel better. And when we talk about optimal health, we try to envision a stool because there's 3 parts and you need all 3 or your stool is going to be wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a healthy mind, a healthy weight, and healthy finances.
Okay.
And if you are missing one of those, then your stool is wobbly. So your healthy mindset is really who are you surrounding yourself with? Who is encouraging you and lifting you up? Who is supporting where you want to go? And your healthy weight, encourages you to have more energy. Are you playing with your grandkids? Are you going hiking? What are you doing that you love? And do you have the time and energy to go do that? And the financial part, do you have can you pay your bills? Do you have a little bit of expendable income? And I knew for me, I definitely wanted the financial part. I wanted to be able to give back to my kids and my grandkids when they come and just move forward. So yeah, all 3 of it. It just seemed like a really great.
Okay, that is wonderful. Now you mentioned, and I'll be frank here, a lot of my listeners are business owners, and the one thing that they probably don't have is time. When you think about it, they're trying to balance so many from their family to their work life to maybe their business clients to friends and family. That's really hard this day and age. So how do you help somebody maybe find time? Let's ask that question. When you're a coach and they're like, I have no time to do this. I love the program. I don't have time. How do you overcome that?
Okay, well, that's where the last part of it, the fuelings come in, and we call it the last part because that's not really what we focus on. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, you are creating small habits. So you are getting used to eating 6 times a day. You getting used to having a low glycemic 100-calorie meal to keep you going, to fuel your body. So in the beginning, depending after we have a conversation and I see which program you're going to do, it's here it is. You do it. Just do it.
Okay.
We give you the tools to move forward.
So what I'm hearing, it's all about changing maybe habits and mindsets and building a routine to help get that familiarity of what you should be doing each and every day. And this can be difficult, especially for adults. We're already set in our ways, and it's hard to make that change. So how does your role as a coach specifically come in? How do you help them? Like, is it a phone call, or how do you do that?
Okay, well, thank you, Jamie. That's a really good question, because I can actually work with anybody anywhere within the United States, and actually now China,
Really?
Hong Kong and Singapore. But
Wow.
my clients are here because it is a phone call or a Zoom. Zoom's been popular. That way I can actually see them. And what I want to hear from my clients is, I want to hear their voice. I need to hear their energy and see what's happening for them. So my role as a coach is to listen and to really help them dream bigger, to have a vision. Because honestly, when I didn't have a vision of what I would look like later, I just was raising my children. I would eat off their plates because, it was too little to put back in the fridge, or you didn't want to throw it out.
Not enough to save is what it is in my household.
Not enough to save, but, all those little things added up. And next thing I knew, I'm 188 pounds and I'm not feeling well. So I didn't have a vision, but my coach helped me see, what do I want my future self to look like? I want to be a healthy grandmother. And I have this crazy vision, and I'm telling you, I don't know why I haven't, but I want to be a grandma that steps out of her Corvette in high heels.
Hey, that's a great vision.
I means I need to have my hips well. I need to be able to get up and get there and play with grandchildren. And I know my sons are going to be listening at some point, but this is not a ploy to rush anything. Okay. So it might be down the road, and I want to be ready. So my dream and what I do is help remind you, because once you get to whatever your vision is, it can change. It's going to constantly change.
It can't stay the same, because you might achieve that vision. Then what's next? So that's the key. You've got one thing, and okay, you achieve that. So what's the next vision? And you might not know that, and I think that's okay for people to understand. You might not know what you want, and sometimes internalizing and trying to find that out does help. So, and it might help people to maybe know your routine. So I know you had to change your habits. So what are some of the food choices and habits, and how do you make your daily food choices, and what does your daily routine look like? So maybe people can get an inside look of kind of how that program works.
Well, I'd like to say that before the program, I didn't really have a routine. It was just breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I was done, and you were good. But now I understand, how to eat and why I'm eating 6 times a day. But if I go out, which of course I go out and see people, and you say to me, hey, Debra, do you want this piece of cake? Jamie, if it's anything but chocolate, I will eat it. I would want to have it. I love vanilla, toffee, peanut butter. But if I take a second and go, okay, I'm going to go play pickleball on Saturday, is this going to bring me closer to that and give me more energy? Or in a few days, is that sugar going to catch up with me and I'm not going to feel so good? So if you're asking me a choice between yes or no with the food in front of me, that's a different choice than what do I really want more?
Okay.
What do I want later? It's like saving for a trip. Do I want to have, 6 small trips, or do I want to save for one big trip next year? A little bit of delayed gratification. I can still eat the cake. It's always a choice. Sometimes I'm going to have a mouthful and then walk away. But playing pickleball and hiking and being out there and having more energy is really what pulls me more.
Got it. So in some ways, it's also a little bit about willpower. You have to be able to tell yourself, okay, do I really want this? Because I'll be honest, chocolate's kind of like one of my weaknesses. And I have to, when someone puts a chocolate cake in front of me, I always have to have a bite. I can never say no to at least a bite. And that is probably one of my big like little things that I've got there, but that's okay. So it does seem like you have to have the determination to make that change. Exactly.
It's a vision.
Okay.
Because if we rely on willpower, that's, that's like willpower. I'm going to go to the gym every day. Well, sometimes things happen and you can't do that.
Exactly. Okay. So vision. So it could be just, thinking. And again, it's about changing that mindset. Now I see it. So you have this in front of you, but you have to really think about how that decision cascades and kind of does the butterfly effect to everything else that's coming forward. So it's thinking in the long run, not short term.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I know we're currently going through a pandemic, and I know some people are at home and they're working from home, and they're probably not doing the things that they used to be able to do, like going to the gym, working out, doing all of those other things. Have you, as this local, have you seen some of the habits changing, or have you found it harder for maybe some of your clients, or have you found more people coming in? How has this pandemic changed your business? Why not now?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's about 3 questions in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
So,
go ahead and answer as much. I'm one of those that sometimes I like to talk, so go right ahead.
I'm just going to reverse back because I'm going to answer the question.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Go right ahead. I'm going to leave it for you.
3 years ago, my son had a motorcycle accident. Thankfully, he is okay and he's recovered. But I spent a year with him. I had already been on the program and knew the habits of eating, and I had the tools, which we call the fuelings. So when I was in the hospital and when I was driving him around and I could not do anything, I was not at a gym or exercising, I had the energy to stay with him and to, keep up. So my clients and people who understand the program and that, how we eat, why we eat, what that's going to do for your body. During the pandemic, life is going to happen. So whether it's a pandemic, whether it's, an unfortunate event or whatever's going on in your life, because something's always going on, something. And then we just don't let that totally derail you. And then for the new clients coming in, yes, they are overwhelmed and they are at home and they have their children. And having the tools to just say, here, count to 5. If you can count to 5 and create one lean and green, that we show you how to do it, until you're able to add more and more of your own food in. That's been the biggest way to help, some of my clients.
Okay.
And I have one gentleman who came to me during this time, and he said, I used to be a semi-professional soccer player.
Wow.
Debra, and he goes, I want to get back out there. The kids are getting younger and younger, and I'm getting older, and I want to compete. And he is a business owner, and he's out and about, and he's driving all day long. And, when we talk, it's like, what? Having my meals and my food ready and keeping me healthy has just been really fantastic for him. And now he's out running around.
That's fantastic. So So they're not really having a harder time staying on track. It's just more along the lines of realizing that, anything can come along. You just need to focus, stick with the program maybe?
For me, it's you really need to have that vision and that why.
Okay.
Why am I doing this? My blood sugars are good, my cholesterol's lower, I'm feeling better, and I have the tools to do it.
Okay.
So why wouldn't I do it?
Exactly. So do you find yourself, you said you can have clients all around the world. Walk me through how you're here in Tucson, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So how does that work? You said Zoom and everything. How do the clients find you?
So right now it's a referral-based business.
Oh, okay.
So, my brother's in New York, so he's sharing. My dad's in Florida. I have people here. I have somebody then, a client who moved to Nevada, and she called last week and said, hey, I want to put you in touch with somebody else.
Great.
And that's just a ripple effect.
Just a ripple. Okay. That works. So, you can go all around the world.
Yes.
That is great. Okay. So I did not know that. I thought it was just here in Tucson, even though you are located here in Tucson. So that is fabulous. So I can say I do find it, I guess, a bit harder to hold myself accountable, but I've never actually thought about the whole vision and thinking about what my choices that I'm doing today could potentially affect me, I guess, this weekend or perhaps a few days from now. And I know that food is fuel, and what we put in our bodies actually can either help us or hurt us. there is that. So I guess I have a few things that I need to work on, especially since yesterday that all I had to eat were a couple of pretzels and a slice of cheese. So I'm thinking, okay, what I need to do something. I need to change some things, and you're kind of opening my eyes to that, and it's appreciative. So if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Connecting Tucson with Jamie, where we focus on connecting our community and our local businesses and organizations to help our community grow and thrive and just make those unique connections. As your local insurance professional for all of your insurance needs, I know how important it is to make new and lasting connections in our community and how they can actually help you. You never know how a connection can create that unique spark or pull you in a direction that you weren't thinking it should go. If you are a small business owner or involved in a community project and you would like to be featured on the show, please feel free to give me a call. All of my information is on TucsonBusinessRadioX.com, and I would just love to hear from you. We were just talking with Debra McCullen, the owner of Why Not Now, a wonderfully unique business helping others live healthier lifestyles and becoming empowered to take charge of their lives and their surroundings. Now, Debra, as a business like this bound to draw, I guess, I would think some different type of opinions out there about certain ideas about what you actually do or how it goes. Do you find that people maybe have certain misconceptions about what it is when they first come to you, either about any products or services you offer or what you actually do? Do you find that when they come to you, or are they already in the know?
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Some people say, oh, are you, you're like a personal trainer? No.
No.
I'm not a dietitian. Mm-hmm. No. But I have learned about the program. We do have nutritionists on staff that as clients are able to access, nutrition support and ask them questions. I can follow up and ask a question if there's something I don't know. Mm-hmm. But basically, it's helping people, giving them the tools in the beginning until they can do it for themselves. And so, Jamie, honestly, I could work myself right out of a business because that is what we're teaching and showing you. I work mostly with what's between your eyes and your mind, because it's your mindset, because really your journey is not going to start until you reach your goal weight, because now it's not a diet. So if I've reached my goal weight, now what? Do you just go back to your older habits or making different choices? No, it's where they always say, like, the rubber meets the road. Now it really gets going so that you can maintain that and have those habits, for life. However you choose to do it, once we've worked together, that's up to you. I've been doing the program personally for 4 years now and eating 6 times a day, and I cook twice a day, which means I'm eating 4 something a day. And I feel great, so I don't need to go to Costco or go look for anything else or read labels, because I know what I have and it's been working. So why would I change?
Okay. So you talked about are there already pre-cooked meals with Optivia, or how does that work? Because you said that there are some things that you would prepare for them. So let's talk about that. What are some of those products?
Oh, they're everything. Breakfast, oatmeal. There's, brownies, there's mashed potatoes. Everything has the same calorie count, the same imprint of vitamins and minerals. Okay. So you prepare that. Some of them are grab and go for convenience. And then some, are at home, and I'll make a soup or a breakfast or a pancake. Mm-hmm. And then when I say that I'm cooking a lean and green, that's the dinner I usually prepare. Okay. Salad, a protein, and a vegetable. And I've learned, too, what does that look like? What is really a good, proper portion control?
Right. Exactly. So let's just say I'm a new client. How I'm coming into you. Walk me through that process. What can someone expect if they come to you?
Okay. Well, first thing we're going to do is really just sit down and have a conversation.
Okay.
Of what are they looking for? What does their day look like? What's already happening for them? Where do they want to go, and where would that kind of change take place? And depending on the client, if they're a nursing mom or a diabetic or a gout, it depends on the program. And then we see where they want to go, and then we sign up. You try it for 30 days, money back guarantee.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I walk with you, that first week. The first week, that you're doing the program, I'm going to talk to you every day. And what I'm looking for is that change in your energy, the little bit in your voice, and making sure that you're, getting it. Mm-hmm. And then it's like a once a week or as much or as less as you want.
Okay.
I'm here, for you. And I have clients that I still talk to all the time. And then there's some that just are off and running, and they've gotten it. And that's, anything.
The ones that you can leave after 3 weeks. No, no, the overachievers. So you mentioned different types of programs and are there? How many different types of programs are there? And can you give us some examples of the types of programs that someone can come to you with?
From what I think there's a nursing moms program, and I know there's a diabetic program and a gout and a teen and a senior, because there's different nutritional needs for that. And then we adjust accordingly. Mm-hmm. And it's all written out, and if people have a question, I can send them, what that is and what that looks like for them.
So one thing to really point out is this is not just a cookie cutter type of operation. You actually, I guess, put them on a program that's going to fit their needs. It's customized to fit their needs. So if it's a teen, they have different nutritional needs than a senior. Right. So you're not going to have one program for one person, and you really need to get to know them, and someone really does need to be honest with you about what they really need. Right.
What they need, what medications they're on, and that's, confidential, and I don't share that. And we just talk about it, and then we move forward. And what is really great is that, I didn't put that together. Mm-hmm. Optivia has put that together, and then I am the independent coach through them. So really all the work has been done, and then I just pull and listen and share and help them.
And that's your coach. Mm-hmm. You're the one who puts that stuff together for them and says rah rah in their corner, because you never know how that's going to work. Okay. So your business name is actually quite unique, I'll be honest. And for those of you that don't know, Why Not Know is spelled, or Why Not Now is spelled a little bit differently. Actually, the now is spelled with a K. So
why not?
Oh yeah, why not? The not is spelled with a K. Thank you. I was looking at this. I'm like, that didn't look right. Yeah. No, the why not now is spelled with a K. Why is that? That's a very unique way to put that.
I love sharing this part
of
the story. Because when I learned to crochet 13 years ago and give out shawls and blankets for free, it was frustrating in the beginning. I didn't know how to do it. And if you're a crafter, you know anything about the skeins of yarn, sometimes when you're pulling out from the middle, you'll get a big knot and a big wad of mess.
Oh, no.
And I never wanted to cut it. It was so satisfying to just have this beautiful piece of artwork without cutting it. And sometimes I would work an hour and a half, and I would get it untangled. And there's a few painful times where I cut it. But when I was thinking of my business name, working on that piece, Jamie, if I were to show it to you, you have no idea how many cuts are in it or, ties. I never unraveled the whole thing and just gave up because I came upon this stumbling block in the yarn. Mm-hmm. And then I equated that to health and your health journey and go, you know what? Some days are going to be better than others. And you don't just quit and go, I can't do this anymore. Or, I made a poor choice. I've got to start all over. No, you just keep going. So when I thought about it, I was like, why not? Why not now? Why not get healthy? Why not choose, something different? And I don't know, for me, it just totally made sense.
It does make sense. Why not me? Why not choose myself to do all of that? So I completely understand. You never give up. I never knew that you can pull from the middle and get those knots. Oh. So no, I'm not a crocheter. I'll be honest. I'm really not. But I do love to cook. I love to put that out there, and that's one of the passions that I have. So I can there are some bad dishes that I've cooked, but you don't give up. But unfortunately, cooking, when things get burnt, you do have to start over. But it's still, those are the painful moments, and I get that. So it's kind of like a tribute for your love of crocheting and helping people all in one and not giving up. And not giving up on the people that you're helping, I think, is a way too, because I'm pretty sure people get frustrated sometimes with what they're doing, and how do you help them overcome that not per se?
That's why we talk.
Okay.
Just talk and encourage and just kind of be there when they can't see it. Just like I couldn't see, but now, with the help of talking to my coach, I'm like, oh, you could dream bigger. I mean, I didn't have an exit plan when I got married, Jamie. I had one plan, one road. Well, life changes. And then you just keep going.
So,
just keep going.
Well, hopefully people don't hope for an exit plan, I would think, most of the time. So I don't blame you on that one, but still.
It happens.
It happens, and you're right. Life happens, and like I said, you could be on one path, and then all of a sudden that detour happens, and you're like, what the heck just happened? And you're dumbfounded, and then you have to figure a way to get back on. You can't probably get back on that path, so you have to forge your own new path and make that your way forward. So I 100% get that. So as you mentioned before, I can tell you're very passionate about this and helping people, and it's something that you really love. What is your biggest passion, and what makes your company different and unique? What makes Why Not Now and Optivia unique?
Well, that's a good question. When I think about it, we actually work ourselves out of a business because you can cook your own 100-calorie meals. And great. That is what I'm showing you how to do. This is why you're doing it. Now, if you choose to use the fuelings, great. But if you don't, that is the purpose is to help you create your new habits. What does that look like for you? What's the best way for you to do it? So for me, it is that learning process and that component that really sets us apart, because it's not a diet. It is a lifestyle. And how are you going to move forward doing that? And then what sets me apart? Why not? Why not now? Why not me? I live it. I love it. I enjoy it. And I really do believe that each person, as we said earlier, I don't just help them. I help the rest of the family. And if I can just help a few people, that's enough for me. I'm happy, because it doesn't matter, because it's really helping more than just the people that I have helped.
So that's your comfort. You get comfort out of helping others.
I do. It's so exciting when they call and say, hey, I'm running around now with those soccer kids and I can do it, or I'm taking less medicines now. But when people call you and share that story, it really it fills you up and keeps you going.
That's great. And so let's just say someone is extremely busy, and this is the part that we spoke about earlier, those habits, that mindset, that vision. And it can honestly be hard for someone to change. What are some of the small little things that someone might be able to do to start with that mindset? If they're thinking about, well, maybe I want to call, Debra, maybe she can help me, but my life is busy, I don't have time to take the Zoom call. Or what are some things that somebody can, I know that's, not really true, but I'm just kind of going off on a tangent here. What are some small habits that somebody can maybe change, that can help them think, okay, yeah, maybe I can do this program?
If I'm hearing you correctly and you want to know what people can start doing now before they actually reach out and make a phone call, because, maybe they're not ready or they're scared and they don't know what this is going to look like. It's just, I'm easy to talk to. It's
She really is, everybody. She's so easy to talk to. You can just call her up and start talking about anything and she'll go there.
Yeah, because I've been there. But for right now, I would say be prepared. Kind of think about, if you want to start walking every day, put your sneakers out before you go to bed so that when you wake up, you see them. And then you're going to remember, okay, I'm walking today. Or plan your day before you go out. I was a parent and a mom, and before I went anywhere, I had the diaper bag and all the accoutrements that went with it and had a little bit extra. Well, now it's time to take care of you. What does your day look like? Make sure that you're putting yourself first. And that you're planning, where am I going today? What appointments do I have? What am I doing? And don't get so busy and caught up that you do forget to take care of yourself, because you're going to show up better when you're prepared and when you feel good, when you've been hydrating, when you've been fueling, when you're moving forward. So I would say be prepared. And if you want to start something, have it out as a cue for you to remember that I'm starting.
I like that. That's really good. And you made something that you just said something that kind of ticked in my mind, putting yourself first. I know especially mothers out there tend, like you said in the very beginning, to not put themselves first. Why would you say that it's important for a mother sometime to put themselves first before their children? What are some things that you can help them overcome that anxiety of like, no, I can't do this. I've got to go here first. I can't take care of myself, to help them move past that hurdle, because that's one of the biggest hurdles I think that us mothers have.
I wish I could go back and talk to my younger self. Because actually now I had one son tell me, he goes, Mom, you're aging in reverse.
Oh, that's great.
So for me, I take that as, okay, I feel better. I'm showing up better. I'm here. I have that energy. And if you take care of yourself, which after you did everybody else, you were last, I would make an appeal. Take care of yourself first. And I know a lot of people already do that. I didn't have that mindset. I had that help everybody. I knew what sandwiches you wanted. I knew what everybody else liked, but I didn't know what Debra wanted. So I would say, you matter. You matter, and you show up better when you're not pouring from an empty cup. When you're physically and mentally and have that energy to be there for others.
I think that's huge what you just said, and I'm going to touch on that because it's hard. Mothers cannot let go, in my opinion, and sometimes single fathers too. They want to put everything into their children and everything there, and this also goes for business owners too, and you can kind of tweak it that way. If you can't, I guess, get your mind around the fact that you have to put yourself first or make sure that you're healthy, make sure that your mindset's there, it's going to actually affect the children, I think, in some ways, because you're not going to be able to do everything for them, as well as your business. You're not going to be able to, I guess, be fully present. And you could have those things kind of, I guess, snowball forward and topple away. So really, and this is probably the hardest thing for me to do, and I'm pretty sure everything is out there, is changing that mindset and having the vision that, okay, it's okay for me to wake up, do what I need to do, take that walk before I make that, my son or daughter sandwich, or maybe I need to make, spend an hour for myself or 30 minutes for myself doing what I need to do to get my mind focused. Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's meditation. It's okay to do that. You're not being selfish. And that's the one thing sometimes like, oh, I'm being selfish. I need to go do something for them versus do something for me. And I think maybe that's what you're trying to say. You're not being selfish if you're trying to think of yourself first.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm sorry if that wasn't. Yes.
No. I mean, because that's, I know, sometimes I feel bad. I'm like, oh man, I just did that for myself. What am I going to do? And I think that's that guilt that sometimes eats away at us.
Yeah. So anybody who's listening, learn way before I did. Oh, slow.
Oh, goodness. So we talked about some of those. There's 4 steps. So specifically, let's walk through those 4 steps. So health coach, habits of health, community of support, and those fuelings. What are those roles of each, and how does those work? So can you walk me through those a little bit more in detail?
Okay. So as the coach, I am your first line. That's how we get signed up. That's how we talk. That's how we know what program you're going to work on. And then I work with you to help you get to where you want to go.
Okay.
The community of support, we know that most people, when you're around like-minded people and have that support, tend to stay, whatever it is. So that is your encouragement and your community. And the Habits of Health system is there's 2 books. It's a life book, which is your journey. It's your journaling. It's your where do I see myself? Where do I want to go? And that's something that takes you about a while to go through. It's not an all at once thing. And then there's, the Habits of Health book that also has ideas and talks about why we are the way we are today, how our bodies were designed 100,000 years ago, to store fat and to keep it, and now how things have changed. So that's a great educational thing. And then the tools or the fuelings really are just what we call tools to help get you started. Because it seems overwhelming, at least it did to me, to go, oh, you want me to cook 6 times a day? And I don't have the time. But if people really think about it, they're grabbing things anyway. But what are they grabbing? And these have all the vitamins and the minerals and the non-GMOs, and it's all, nutritionally balanced. And it's science-based to keep your blood sugars level so that you don't have big dips in your day.
Okay. So how is this different from a weight loss program like Weight Watchers or I can't remember the other one, but Jenny Craig or something? How is it different?
I mean, honestly, I don't know anything about the other programs, so I won't speak to them. But what I see as the biggest difference right off the bat is how we work with the client.
Okay.
In their mindset. That it's not a diet, I reach my weight loss and I'm done, because you're not. That's where it starts. And that's the exciting part, is that every year I'm not going, I need a New Year's resolution. I need to start over. Oh, there's a birthday coming up. So I started 4 years ago in October, right before Halloween. And I love Butterfingers and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Yeah, those
and
are
now
good.
They came out with those dark ones, the dark chocolate. I'm told you, chocolate is my nemesis.
I'll focus on the peanut butter. But then it was Thanksgiving. Then it's Christmas. Then it's New Year's. Then it's a birthday or an anniversary, a Valentine's Day. Something is always coming up. Always. So if we help you, really understand your vision, understand where you want to go, when life happens, you're ready. You're ready, and there's no more yo-yo. So that's really what is so exciting for me, is to help you see. Because people say, I'm not ready. I have something to come up, or I lost some weight for a wedding. Well, now the wedding's over. Now what? It's better, if you can stay level. And then, too, when you have, clients who need to lose maybe 50 or plus pounds, we just give you the tools, and then we slowly start adding into the gym or, exercise. What is going to work for you? Because I'm not going to put you there right away. You don't want to get hurt.
Right.
You just have to understand, and maybe you're not ready for that. Maybe you don't like that. Honestly, Jamie, I don't like going to the gym because I don't want people looking at me.
Right.
So I will stay at home. I'll walk. I'll play pickleball, do other things. And there's other people who really get fed, and excited about going. So it really depends on who you are and how it's going to work, for you.
The gym is not for everybody. Absolutely not. And I am one of those outdoorsy peoples too. Like, let's go hiking, because that can be just as much as a workout as a gym. You could be climbing and, grabbing those rocks and boulders and kind of getting, and I like the sunshine better than, the fake lights in the gym or whatever that is. I feel that because I'm closer to nature as well. I think that's one big thing there. So true on that one. There's different things for people to do. So why should they choose Debra as their health coach? I mean, why should they choose you?
Why not?
I like joking. It. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? I love it. I live it. I enjoy it. I really get fed by, by, helping other people. And why not?
Okay. I like it. So how can clients find you? Do you have social media sites? How can they find you? I know you said you mostly do referrals, but once they hear this, they're probably going to, how do I get a hold of her possibly?
So from here, it would be my phone number or the email that is listed or. Yeah. And then it's just having a conversation. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn and, some things on Instagram, but really the best way is to make a phone call.
Well, that is just great. Do you have anything coming up that we could be aware of, or is there anything that we haven't talked about that I need to sit there and say this?
Well, I think we covered a lot of it. I mean, honestly, it's just, you're not going to know if it's right for you unless we have that conversation. And kind of just don't let fear keep you from just reaching out and calling and saying, hey.
She really is good to, talk to. So don't let fear hit you. Just give her a quick call and say, hey, I heard you, and I kind of want to know a little bit more about this, and I'm sure she'll be happy to talk to you. So, folks, that's really all we have today with Connecting for Tucson with Jamie here at the Stewart Title Studios. If you like the show, let us know. Give us a like. Call me. You can find all of the social media links and all of her phone numbers and everything about her and why not now. I like the not. Information right on the businessradiox.com, Connecting Tucson with Jamie. As always, do not be afraid. Do not let fear stop you from doing something to not only help yourself, but step outside of that comfort zone. Make that new connection. Do something. Get out there, and you never know where it might lead. You never know that friendship that you might make. You never know how that next connection can help you grow. Until next time, this is Jamie Overturf with Farmers Insurance. Keep on making unique connections, Tucson. Have a great day.